Have you ever had a near-death experience that completely changed you? Some moments happen in slow motion, like life itself is holding its breath. I was in Queenstown, New Zealand, a place known for its adrenaline sports, bungee jumping, skydiving, canyon swings. I wasn't a daredevil. Heights made my stomach twist. But I was 24, fresh off a breakup and determined to prove something, mostly to myself. That's how I ended up at the edge of a cliff, harness strapped tight, looking down at a 400-foot drop into a narrow gorge. The plan was simple: jump, swing, scream, survive. Easy. Except when I stepped up to the edge, something froze in me. The world tilted, the wind howled, the water below looked impossibly far away. "You'll be fine," the operator said. 3, 2, 1, go. I didn't move. Again. 3, 2, 1, go. Nothing. A crowd was gathering behind me, other tourists, workers, people waiting their turn. I felt their eyes, their impatience. Pressure mounted. I forced myself forward and slipped. I don't remember falling, just the sensation of emptiness, the sudden loss of ground, the air clawing at my body. The rope caught, hard, sharp, yanking me back to reality. But for a few endless seconds, I wasn't sure it would. I wasn't sure of anything. Swinging over the gorge, legs dangling, I laughed. Not out of joy, but relief. A deep, guttural sound that shook something loose inside me. When they hauled me back up, I wasn't the same. It wasn't the brush with death that changed me. It was the realization that for those few seconds, I had absolutely no control. And somehow, I was still here. I stopped chasing control after that. Stopped pretending life could be scripted, neat and safe. Sometimes you have to fall, really fall, to remember what it feels like to trust that you'll land. The map said it was a shortcut. Maps lie. I was hiking solo in the Colorado Rockies. Crisp air, pine needles underfoot, mountains cutting sharp against the sky. It was supposed to be an easy trail, one I'd done before. But somewhere along the way, I missed a turn. Or maybe the trail had changed, washed out by rain or time. Either way, the path thinned, the trees closed in, and before I knew it, I was lost. No cell signal, no compass. I'd left it behind, too confident, too sure. Panic doesn't hit all at once. It creeps up slowly, a tightening in your chest, a dryness in your throat. Hours passed. The sun dipped lower. Shadows stretched long and cold across the ground. That's when I heard it, a low rumble, steady and growing louder. Water. I stumbled toward the sound, branches whipping my arms, hope pounding in my ears, and found a river, fast, wide, furious from spring runoff. I followed it, hoping it would lead me somewhere. It did. To a cliff. I didn't see it until it was too late. One step more, and I was sliding, rocks and dirt giving way under my boots. I clawed for anything, roots, stones, but the ground crumbled. My foot dangled over open air. Somehow I caught hold of a thin, twisted sapling jutting out from the cliff's edge. I hung there, muscles screaming, heart slamming against my ribs, staring down at a 20-foot drop onto jagged rocks. I don't remember pulling myself up. Just the scrape of bark against my palms, the smell of earth and panic. When I finally lay flat on solid ground, gasping, trembling, I realized how close I'd come, and how stupid I'd been. I don't hike without a compass now, or a buddy, or a backup plan. Sometimes survival isn't about strength. It's about respecting the things stronger than you. Nature, chance, your own limits. Speed is intoxicating, right up until it isn't. I was driving on the Autobahn, where limits are more suggestions than rules. The road was slick with rain, the kind of steady drizzle that doesn't seem dangerous until it is. I was young, reckless, in a borrowed BMW, feeling invincible. I don't remember how fast I was going. Fast enough that when the tires lost traction, the world spun. Everything blurred. Headlights, trees, sky. I fought the wheel, but the car had its own ideas. We slammed into the guardrail. The sound was deafening. Metal against metal, glass shattering, a shriek that still echoes in my ears when it rains. The car bounced, skidded, stopped. Silence. I sat there, hands clenched on the wheel, heart pounding. Miraculously, no other cars were near. No one was hurt. Just me, alone, rattling like a loose screw. The tow truck driver laughed when he saw the wrecked front end. "Could have been worse," he said. "Much worse." He was right. I drive differently now. Slower, wiser. Speed is a thrill, but life is better. Silence underwater is different. It's heavier. I was scuba diving off the coast of Koh Tao, a tourist-certified amateur who thought a few lessons made me an expert. The dive was shallow, clear water, bright fish, coral gardens. Then, without warning, my regulator, the thing that delivers air, failed. 1 second, I was breathing. The next, nothing. Panic claws fast when you can't breathe. Instinct screamed to surface, but I was too deep. Shooting up could kill me. I signaled to my dive buddy, frantic slashing motions, but he was turned away, mesmerized by a school of fish. I felt the tightness in my chest, the burn of oxygen running out, and then, training, drilled into me during lessons I half listened to. I grabbed my backup regulator, the secondary one hanging near my chest, jammed it into my mouth, inhaled. Sweet, sweet air. I surfaced slowly, controlled, fighting every instinct to rocket upward. When I broke through the surface, gasping under the sun, I laughed. Wild, breathless, disbelieving. I learned 2 things that day. 1, never dive cocky. 2, respect the ocean. It's not yours. It's never yours. Mountains demand respect. I learned that the hard way. We were snowboarding in the Swiss Alps, chasing fresh powder off-piste, off-the-mark trails. We knew the risks. We just didn't think they applied to us. The morning was perfect. Blue sky, untouched snow, the kind of day you dream about. We rode hard, carving tracks into pristine hillsides. And then, a sound. Low at first, almost like a growl. Then louder, a rumble deep enough to feel in your chest. I turned and saw it. A wall of snow breaking loose above us, moving fast. "Avalanche!" someone shouted, too late. I kicked off my board and ran, if you can call it running in waist-deep snow. It felt like moving through wet cement. The avalanche roared down, faster than anything human could outrun. Snow hit me like a freight train, cold, heavy, merciless. I tumbled, tossed like a rag doll, losing all sense of direction. Then stillness, weight, darkness. I was buried, meters deep, upside down, mouth packed with snow. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. I remembered something. They told us in training, create an air pocket. I clawed near my face frantically, found a small space, just enough. Time dissolved, seconds or minutes. I don't know. Then, digging, voices, hands. They pulled me out, coughing, crying, alive. I don't snowboard off-piste anymore. I still dream about the avalanche. Not the snow, but the silence afterward. Life isn't guaranteed. It's borrowed. Lakes in winter are deceptive, beautiful, glittering, deadly. I was 12 when my cousin dared me to run across the frozen lake behind our grandparents' house. It had been cold for weeks. The ice looked solid. It wasn't. Halfway across, I heard the crack. Sharp, violent, immediate. The ice gave way, and I plunged into freezing black water. Panic swallowed me. I kicked hard, boots dragging me down, heavy and useless. The cold stole my breath. It felt like knives under my skin. I tried to surface, but the ice was jagged, broken. I couldn't find the hole. Blind, frantic, I banged my fists against the underside of the ice. Somehow, through sheer stupid luck or instinct, I found the opening and hauled myself out, clawing onto solid ice, gasping, sobbing, half frozen. My cousin was screaming from the shore. I don't remember getting to land. I just remember the way the world narrowed to one thing: survive. Since then, I don't trust anything just because it looks safe. Surface calm means nothing. What matters is what's underneath. Highways in the Yucatan can stretch forever, endless asphalt through jungle and scrub. We were driving at night. Stupid, we knew. Locals warned us. Don't drive after dark. Too dangerous. Too easy to vanish. But we were behind schedule, eager to reach our next town. The headlights cut a narrow path through the dark, the jungle pressing close on either side. And then, figures in the road. 3 of them, standing side by side, blocking the lane. No car in sight. No movement. I slowed, heart pounding. They didn't move, didn't flinch, just watched. Every instinct screamed, don't stop, don't engage. I veered off, right onto the shoulder, wheels bouncing, dirt spraying, and tore past them. In the rearview mirror, they just stood there, unmoving, disappearing into the darkness. We didn't talk much after that. Not that night. I don't know who they were. Locals, thieves, well, worse, but I know this. Some warnings are worth listening to. I don't drive at night anymore. Not in unfamiliar places. Some risks aren't worth testing twice. Fire moves fast. Faster than you think. I was 16, home alone, sprawled on the couch with a bowl of popcorn and a bad action movie blaring in the background. The first hint of trouble was the smell. Sharp, chemical, wrong. I sat up, confused. Smoke curled from under the door leading to the garage. Then, the smoke detector shrieked. I didn't think. I ran, out the front door, barefoot, heart hammering. When I turned around, flames were already licking at the garage door, hungry and bright. The heat hit me like a wave. I stood there, gasping in the cold night air, watching the house, my house, crackle and groan. By the time the fire trucks arrived, it was too late. Half the house was gone. Later, the fire chief told us it was the water heater, an old one, faulty wiring. Nothing we could have done. Nothing except get out fast. People always talk about what they'd grab in a fire. Photos, heirlooms, things that matter. I didn't grab anything. And standing there barefoot in the street, I realized none of it mattered. Not really. What matters is breath in your lungs and ground under your feet. Everything else is just stuff. Climbing demands your full attention. The mountain doesn't forgive. I was halfway up a face in Chamonix, roped in, sure, confident. The rock was cold and rough against my palms, the sky a perfect blue. Then, a slip. My foot found nothing but air. Fingers scrambled, scraped, missed. I fell. The rope caught, snapped tight against my harness, jerked me to a stop, ribs bruising against the pressure. I dangled there, heart slamming, feet kicking uselessly, staring at the ground far, far below. My climbing partner shouted down, voice calm, steady. Breathe, hold on. I don't know how long I hung there. Time twisted, stretched, collapsed. But eventually, I found the wall again. Toes against rock, fingers digging for grip. We finished the climb, slow, careful. At the summit, the wind cut sharp across the peaks, and the world stretched out, endless, blinding white. I've never taken heights for granted again. Falling doesn't kill you. Forgetting the fall can. Adventure and arrogance don't mix well. I was trekking the Annapurna circuit in Nepal. Long days of hiking, cold nights under thin blankets. Somewhere along the way, I caught up with a group crossing a swollen river. The wooden bridge, a collection of planks lashed together, looked shaky, but it was the only way across. Most waited, watching the current rage below. I didn't. I stepped onto the bridge, feeling it sway under my weight. Halfway across, a gust of wind howled through the valley, strong enough to shake the bridge. The rope railing snapped. One side gave way. I grabbed the remaining rope with both hands as the bridge tilted. One misstep, and I'd be in the river. Fast. Freezing. Deadly. Below, the water slammed against rocks. No second chances. Slowly, inch by inch, I edged forward, every muscle straining. When I made it to the other side, knees buckling, soaked with sweat despite the cold, the others applauded weakly. I didn't feel brave. I felt lucky. Stupid. Since then, I've learned, caution isn't cowardice. It's survival. There's no warning with earthquakes. No time to think. Only to react. I was in Osaka on business, jet-lagged, half asleep in a hotel room on the 10th floor. At first it felt like someone shaking the bed, a prank, a dream. But then the walls groaned, the floor shuddered, and the building swayed like it was made of paper. I scrambled under the desk, just like the drill said. Lamps crashed to the floor, the mirror shattered. I couldn't think, just held on as the world shifted and screamed around me. Minutes, or maybe seconds, later it stopped. Silence. Dust hanging in the air. I stumbled out, barefoot, glass crunching underfoot. The hallway was chaos, alarms blaring, people shouting, doors ajar. But the building had held. I made it down the stairs, shaky but alive. Standing outside, watching the city settle back into an uneasy stillness, I realized how fragile everything is. Buildings, plans, life itself, all of it can crumble in an instant. And you either learn to live with that, or you don't live at all. Snow is silent. Snow can kill you quietly. I was driving alone through the Yukon, a rental SUV, half a tank of gas, no cell service. The storm rolled in fast. 1 minute, clear skies. The next, a whiteout. Visibility dropped to nothing. Snow swirled so thick it erased the road, the horizon, everything. I slowed to a crawl, but it wasn't enough. The SUV slid, tires useless on the ice, and spun gently into a snowbank. I tried to dig out, tried to rock the vehicle free. Nothing. The wind howled outside, rocking the SUV. The temperature was dropping fast. I knew enough not to leave the car, to wait it out, conserve heat. I turned the engine off and on every so often to stay warm, praying the battery wouldn't die. Hours passed. Darkness crept in. I thought about my family, about the dumb luck that brought me there. Sometime after midnight, the headlights of a plow pierced the white curtain. I blinked, disoriented, thinking maybe I'd imagined it. But it was real. The driver helped dig me out, gruff and efficient, no questions asked. Back on the road, creeping behind the plow, I promised myself I'd never underestimate the cold again. Some dangers you don't see coming, some you don't get a second chance to learn from.